Imagine walking outside and finding strangers. Digging up your yard without warning, without permission. That's exactly what happened to me. But when I caught the HOA red-handed, what happened next shocked the entire neighborhood. It started early one morning with the roar of machinery. At first, I thought it was road work. But when I stepped onto my porch, my heart dropped. A backhoe was in my yard, ripping a trench right through my flower beds and lawn. Workers in safety vests were barking orders like they owned the place. I rushed over. "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing on my property?" One of them barely looked up. "HOA orders. Drainage project?" I was stunned. No notice, no knock, nothing. Just destruction. My kids' swing set, my garden, everything was at risk. "I called the HOA president," she answered with a smirk in her voice. "Oh, don't worry. It's community property. You'll thank us later." Community property? My deed said otherwise. I felt powerless, but deep down I knew this wasn't right. So I did the one thing they didn't expect. I documented everything, photos, videos, even a clip where the workers admitted the HOA had no permit. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, how dare they violate my home like this? My yard wasn't just grass and dirt. It was where my kids learned to ride bikes, where we planted trees for each birthday, and now it looked like a battlefield. But the HOA had no idea they'd just picked the wrong fight. The next morning, I took my evidence straight to the city zoning office. The inspector frowned as he flipped through my photos. "They don't have permits for this. Not even close." Within days, inspectors showed up at the site. Work was ordered to stop immediately. The HOA president tried to argue, claiming it was for the good of the neighborhood. But the officials weren't buying it. They hit the HOA with multiple violations and thousands of dollars in fines. And here's the twist. Under the law, they were responsible for repairing every inch of damage on my land. At their expense, neighbors who once stayed quiet suddenly rallied behind me. People shared stories of the HOA's bullying, unfair fines, threats, even intimidation. My trench wasn't just about property anymore. It was about standing up to abuse of power. A month later, at the community meeting, the HOA president had no choice but to face us all. Her voice shook as she admitted fault, promising that my yard would be restored and that new checks would be put in place. For the first time, she didn't look powerful. She looked small. And me? I stood taller than ever. Not because I won against the HOA, but because I showed my kids that you don't let bullies, no matter how big, walk over you. So what happened when the HOA dug a trench on my property without permission? They didn't just dig up my yard, they dug their own downfall. If this story kept you watching, don't forget to like, subscribe,